Season 9 of Chicago P.D., and I am so excited. We're getting close to the finish line with this show, now 11 seasons in. I can't wait to get into the Season 12 premiere on September 25th. Is anyone else excited? Don't worry, I'll be reviewing the new season, so you won't miss a thing. A lot has changed with the show and its characters over time. I just finished rewatching Season 11, and I'm trying to figure out which season is my favorite. My list of favorite characters has definitely shifted too, and I'll be sharing those changes in a video after I finish reviewing all 11 seasons, so stay tuned. It even surprised me. This season hit me on a deeper emotional level, if you can believe it. The characters' growth was more intense than ever, pulling them right into the heart of darkness. Hello and welcome to Timeless New York City. I'm Lena, and I'll be your guide as I take you along on my first-time journey through Chicago PD, covering all the seasons. I'll be sharing my thoughts and reactions season by season. So settle in. We're diving straight into the gritty, action-packed world of Chicago PD. If you're enjoying the ride, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because there's plenty more chaos ahead. In Chicago PD Season 9, the overarching storyline revolves around the continued internal and external conflicts within intelligence, especially as Voight struggles to balance his old-school methods with the department's push for reform. The season opens with the fallout from the murder of Roy Walton, whom Voight and Upton secretly killed in Season 8. Upton's guilt from the incident, along with pressure from the FBI, becomes a driving force throughout the season, putting her mental health and her relationship with Halstead to the test. Voight, in turn, wrestles with his desire to protect Upton while keeping the unit together amid these rising tensions. Halstead is increasingly put at the center of the team's moral dilemmas, particularly as he becomes more involved in Upton's struggle to hide the truth about Walton's death. As the FBI investigation escalates, Halstead faces a critical decision: protect Upton and Voight or maintain his integrity. His internal conflict leads to a showdown with Voight, which pushes him to the brink of breaking. However, Halstead ultimately decides to confront Voight and convinces him to come clean, leading to a deal with the FBI that preserves the unit's future but alters the dynamics of trust within the team. In parallel, the intelligence unit tackles high-stakes cases, including a gang war threatening the city, a human trafficking ring, and other complex criminal operations. Atwater, who faces his own battles with systemic racism and personal struggles, steps up as a critical leader within the unit. Burgess and Ruzek continue navigating their complicated relationship while trying to co-parent Michaela, with Burgess grappling with trauma from her near-death experience. The season concludes with Voight making a pivotal choice to adapt his leadership style, acknowledging the need for change within the department while keeping his tight-knit unit intact. Now, let's get into the gripping developments and explore the intense personal and professional struggles that each member of the Chicago PD team experiences through their story arcs. Our first character is Hank Voight. Hank's arc continues to focus on his internal struggle between old-school policing and the pressure for reform. As the leader of intelligence, Voight is forced to reckon with his morally gray methods, especially after the murder of Roy Walton in Season 8. His relationship with Upton and Halstead becomes strained as the FBI closes in on the truth about Walton's death. Voight's need to protect his team while dealing with undercover CI Anna Avalos, whom he grows attached to, highlights his ongoing moral complexity. His dilemma deepens when he is forced to lie to Anna in Episode 21, House of Cards, leading to devastating consequences. A dramatic moment for Voight occurs in Episode 22 titled You and Me, during a tense climax to the undercover operation against drug kingpin Javier Escano. Voight's informant, Anna Avalos, who had been instrumental in gathering critical information on Escano, becomes emotionally unstable as the pressure of the operation takes its toll. In the final confrontation, Voight tries to reassure her that everything is under control, but Anna, feeling betrayed and fearful for her life, shoots Escano and attempts to flee. The situation spirals out of control, and as Voight pursues her, Anna is shot by the police. Voight rushes to her side, desperately trying to stop the bleeding. His devastation is clear as he holds her, pleading for her to stay alive. The moment is a culmination of Voight's emotional attachment to Anna and his ongoing struggle with the consequences of his actions. The weight of his choices, his inability to protect Anna, and the guilt over pushing her too far are etched in his expression, leaving Voight more broken than ever as the season ends. Our second character is Jay Halstead. Jay's arc centers on his increasing disillusionment with Voight's leadership and the moral compromises required in the job. After learning of Upton's involvement in Walton's death, Halstead must decide whether to protect her and Voight or uphold his values. His confrontation with Voight is a turning point, marking a shift in his character toward greater independence. Halstead also takes on a mentorship role with rookie Dante Torres in the later part of the season, showcasing his growth. A dramatic moment for Halstead occurs in episode 9, titled A Way Out, when he is faced with an intense moral dilemma. Voight and Upton's involvement in the murder of Roy Walton is at risk of being exposed by FBI agent North, who has been investigating the case. To protect both Upton and Voight, Halstead makes the difficult decision to blackmail North by using his brother's criminal activities as leverage. This action goes against Halstead's usual moral compass, showing how far he is willing to go for those he loves. The pressure of the situation forces Halstead to confront the darker side of law enforcement, pushing him into a morally gray area that he has long tried to avoid. Despite his internal conflict, Halstead chooses loyalty to his team over doing things by the book, marking a pivotal moment in his character's arc. The third character is Haley Upton. Haley's arc is heavily driven by her guilt over Roy Walton's death. Her emotional turmoil affects her relationship with Halstead and her work performance. As she grapples with the consequences of her actions, her bond with Halstead strengthens, culminating in their surprise courthouse marriage in episode 9 titled A Way Out. Upton's struggle to reconcile her actions with her sense of morality is a central theme, and her arc showcases her vulnerability and resilience. A dramatic moment for Upton takes place in episode 13 titled Still Water, where she impulsively jumps into action after witnessing a car veer off a bridge and crash into the river. Ignoring her own safety, Upton dives into the freezing water to save two people trapped inside the sinking vehicle. Despite her best efforts, she can only save one of them, leaving the other to tragically drown. Initially, she is shaken by the guilt of being unable to rescue both victims, but the situation becomes even more disturbing when she learns that the man she saved is a suspected abuser who may have intentionally caused the crash to escape responsibility. This revelation intensifies Upton's emotional turmoil as she grapples with the moral weight of saving someone who might not deserve it. The episode highlights her dedication to duty, but also the personal and psychological toll her job takes on her. Our fourth character is Kim Burgess. Kim's primary focus in her role as a mother to Michaela. Her arc explores the emotional aftermath of her near-death experience and her struggles to balance work with her duties as a parent. Burgess and Ruzek's complex relationship deepens as they navigate co-parenting, particularly when Michaela is kidnapped, leading to one of the most intense storylines of the season. A dramatic moment for Burgess occurs in episode 15 titled Gone, when her worst nightmare comes true. Her adopted daughter Michaela is abducted. The episode begins with Burgess and Ruzek discovering that Michaela's babysitter has been brutally attacked and Michaela is missing. This sends Burgess into a state of panic, as the reality of losing her daughter overwhelms her. Throughout the episode, Burgess works tirelessly with the intelligence unit to track down the kidnappers, pushing herself to the brink physically and emotionally. Her protective instincts take over, and despite the emotional trauma, she remains laser-focused on bringing Michaela home. The urgency is palpable as they uncover that Michaela's biological father orchestrated the kidnapping from prison. Burgess's determination is unwavering, but the fear of losing Michaela forever lingers, making this one of the most intense and emotionally charged moments for her character. Ultimately, the team rescues Michaela, but the experience leaves Burgess deeply shaken, solidifying her resolve to protect her daughter at all costs. The fifth character is Adam Ruzek. Adam's arc is closely tied to Burgess and their evolving relationship. He remains a dedicated protector of Burgess and Michaela, but his feelings of being excluded from Michaela's life create tension between him and Burgess. As he fights to be recognized as a father figure, Ruzek must also come to terms with the emotional toll of Michaela's kidnapping. A dramatic moment for Ruzek unfolds in episode 10 titled Home Safe, when he uncovers a deeply unsettling threat to Michaela's safety. After noticing that Michaela has been receiving mysterious stickers at school, Ruzek's suspicions are raised, leading him to investigate further. His fears are confirmed when he realizes that someone close to Michaela, her biological uncle, has been watching her and is petitioning for custody. This revelation sends Ruzek into a protective frenzy, as the thought of losing Michaela, whom he loves as his own, pushes him to his emotional limits. The tension between him and Burgess intensifies as they struggle to figure out how to handle the looming custody battle. Ruzek's frustration grows when he realizes he's not on the official list of people authorized to pick up Michaela from school, further exacerbating his sense of helplessness. This moment challenges Ruzek's role in Michaela's life and sets the stage for a legal and emotional fight to secure her future. Our sixth character is Kevin Atwater. Kevin's arc this season focuses on his ongoing struggle with racial issues within the police department and society at large. He remains a voice of reason and integrity within intelligence, often advocating for change and standing firm in his beliefs. Atwater's involvement in high-stakes cases highlights his leadership potential, and his arc emphasizes his determination to bring justice while navigating systemic challenges. A dramatic moment for Atwater occurs in episode 7, titled Lies. Kevin's internal conflict comes to the forefront as he grapples with whether or not to reveal his profession to his girlfriend, Celeste. Throughout their relationship, Atwater has hidden the fact that he is a police officer, aware of Celeste's mistrust and criticism of the police. This creates a significant moral dilemma for him, as he deeply cares for her but also understands the potential consequences of being honest about his job. Atwater's struggle represents the larger theme of navigating his identity as both a black man and a police officer, a duality that puts him at odds with the very person he wants to be close to. Ultimately, the episode highlights his vulnerability and the emotional toll of living in two worlds that often conflict, leading him to make a difficult decision that impacts his relationship moving forward. Our seventh character, Trudy Platt, continues to play a vital role in Season 9 as the emotional backbone of the intelligence unit. While her primary responsibility is managing the front desk, Platt's influence extends far beyond that, as she is often the go-to person for advice, both personal and professional. Her sharp wit and no-nonsense attitude remain central to her character, but this season, we also see more of her compassionate side, especially in moments where the team faces personal struggles. Throughout Season 9, Platt's unwavering loyalty to her colleagues shines as she provides guidance during challenging cases, always keeping the team grounded when emotions run high. Her mentorship, particularly with younger officers like Burgess and Ruzek, emphasizes her deep care for the unit as more than just coworkers. They're her family. Platt's ability to balance tough love with moments of genuine emotional support highlights her as a crucial figure in maintaining the stability and cohesion of the team. Even though she's not in the field, her presence is felt in every decision the team makes, and her role as an anchor holds the unit together through the toughest of times. I struggled with this season, particularly with Upton's storyline about her overwhelming guilt over killing Roy Walton. It felt odd to me because Roy was going to kill Hank and had brutally attacked Kim, so her guilt didn't seem justified. She was protecting her team. However, despite not fully buying into the storyline, I have to give credit to the actress. She gave a powerful performance, diving deep into Upton's psychological turmoil and bringing real emotional intensity to her role. Even though the storyline didn't resonate with me, I still enjoyed watching her work through the complexities of the character's internal struggle, as she fully committed to portraying Upton's emotional journey this season. The first time I watched this season, something felt off with Jay Halstead's portrayal, but I initially brushed it aside. Later, when I found out that the actor had decided to leave the show, it became clear that he likely knew this during the season. Upon rewatching, it became more apparent that Jay's portrayal felt slightly checked out, possibly due to the actor's knowledge that his time on Chicago P.D. was coming to an end. Despite this, Jay's anger toward Hank and the tension that built between them throughout the season was compelling. Their fractured relationship brought a fresh dynamic to both characters, and I really enjoyed watching how this tension played out, adding a new layer of intensity to their roles. I never really felt that Jay and Upton's relationship had strong chemistry. I know that might be disappointing to some of their fans, but I just didn't see the connection between their characters. It wasn't a reflection of the actors' performances. They both delivered solid work. For me, it was more about the writing, which didn't fully convince me of the depth or attraction between them. However, this dynamic shift allowed other characters to take the spotlight, and Adam, Kim, and Kevin really rose to the occasion this season. Every time those three were on screen, I couldn't look away. The intensity of their storylines, combined with the darker tone of the season, kept me completely engaged. The emotional weight and suspense in each episode were so gripping that I found myself still in shock at how the show continued to captivate me with both the characters and the overall plot. They brought a new intensity and emotional depth that elevated the season. This is the season where the darkness truly seeped into the heart of the show and its characters, making it more gripping and complex, which is why I titled it, Into the Heart of Darkness. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my playlist for more content, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any future updates. Your support means the world to me and is what keeps me motivated to keep creating.